Coming up, I take an aerial look at the rail equipment being manufactured by Siemens. The Siemens Mobility factory is located in Florin, California, near Sacramento. This factory is currently responsible for all of the rolling stock Siemens manufactures in North America, including locomotives, passenger coaches, streetcars, and light rail vehicles. I am flying on the west side of the factory here. In this corner are most of the venture coaches they are manufacturing. Current customers are Amtrak, Via Rail Canada, and Brightline. Brightline currently has a batch of 10 coaches being manufactured for delivery in summer 2024 to expand its Florida train sets by an additional car. At this stage in manufacturing, the only major visible difference is the roof structure, as Brightlines don't have corrugation on the side like all the other railroads cars do. Some of these shells are also for cab cars, like Amtrak and Via Rail have ordered. All of the cars in this corner have the roof corrugation, so therefore not Brightline. As we continue along the property, here we are coming to some of the light rail vehicles and streetcars that are very close to being finished, if not complete. These are for the OC Streetcar, San Diego MTS, and Valley Metro. There are also some Amtrak ALC 42 locomotives, Metro North locomotives, which we'll look at later, and Via Rail SCV 42 locomotives. All of these locomotives are part of the Charger family. In this corner are some light rail vehicles for Seattle's Sound Transit. The blue ones are for Portland's Max Light Rail. The tracks and shed leading to the back of the facility is the facility's environmental testing. All equipment is sprayed with high pressure water to ensure there are no leaks before it goes through final assembly. Next to the warehouse are more coaches, streetcars, and a locomotive stored in preparation for the next step. Siemens tries to keep a slight backlog of equipment at the various stages of assembly so that there's always something to work on in case there are supply chain issues or other delays. Stored on the westernmost track is a completed train set for Via Rail Canada that is almost ready to be shipped off for delivery to Canada. flying down the side of the property, and there are more coaches in various stages of assembly. If you are curious about how these cars are assembled, check out my factory tour video from a few years ago when Brightline's Bright Red 2 was unveiled. On the east side of the property are more coach shells being stored. It is very likely that several of these are for Brightline, although they were too far away to check the roofs to verify for sure. Here's another look down along the property. Also on the interchange track for Union Pacific are 2 coaches for Amtrak California's San Joaquin service. You may have noticed a few of these rubber-tired, yellow vehicles around the property. Since not every building and storage location is rail-served, these act as a kind of transfer table to move equipment around the property. Now let's take a closer look at this new Via Rail Canada train, along with the additional coach behind it. It is made up of a cab car and 4 coaches. In most pictures of these new Via trains in service, it always seemed like the lettering in the yellow band was hard to read or even see, but I can confirm that in person, they stand out and look very classy. Here's another look at these S700 light rail vehicles. There's also the OC Streetcar and an LRV4 for San Francisco's Muni. I also mentioned earlier about these 2 New York Metro North locomotives. They are some of the first, if not the first, dual-mode charger locomotives that can also pick up power from a third rail, and are designated as SC42 DM locomotives. The Amtrak locomotive at bottom center is outside the engine test shed. All of the white shrink wrapping are additional car shells that have not been fully assembled yet. Here are 5 more coaches stored between the buildings. As you may have noticed, Siemens is using every available piece of property they have here, and it is still not enough, which is why they are now in the process of building a new factory to assemble coaches in North Carolina, that'll open in a few years. Outside the factory on a siding here along Union Pacific's Fresno subdivision, a tie gang was tied down for the weekend. This was one of UP's production tie crews that can replace thousands of wood ties a day. We'll wrap up with a drive alongside the tie gang. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like button and subscribe. Also check out my social media pages.